been doing together as a group, kind of building the Fortune Collective. This journey has been amazing with you guys. Literally from we starting our just the company name to hosting, weekly, monthly meetings to then doing all the marketing to creating our own website that we launched literally sometime at the new year of this year. So to now all of a sudden now we're doing podcasts or posting up on YouTube. I think that, just speaks volumes on what we've accomplished so far. And I look forward to 2024 to see what more we're going to be able to accomplish this year. So that said, I kind of wanted to touch on something that Bartholomew mentioned earlier in his response, kind of regarding mentorship. And you, Katie, you kind of brought it up, that Bartholomew and I have served as mentors to you. Something I want to ask the both of you is, who what's who is someone in your life that has been a mentor to you? Kind of give us a little bit of a personal story that you guys have had, and then kind of the importance that mentor or just mentorship in general has given you guys.
There's so many layers to this. In real estate itself, I don't think I'd be the agent I am without those mentors. Because when I started off in EXP, it was important for me to find a group that is consistent, that is willing to make some time to review example offers and figure out what are the options here. At the same time, that they offer tips on how to market yourself, tips on how to reach your sphere of influence, tips on how to engage with a client, difficult client, those type of scenarios where it then becomes almost like a role playing type of thing to put yourself in a situation that you might not have already been a part of. So starting off, taking a lot of that wealth of knowledge and applying it and sharing it as I go. The three names that really stand out: Michael D. Young, Paula Stafford, and our lender, Juanita Gonzalez. These three folks really strong core to making me who I am today as an agent. And then on the flip side, on the more personal side, I feel strongly about, yes, while you are a part of the five people you hang out with, I do feel that it's also an extension of people that you listen the most to. So podcasts, for example, we spend quite a bit of time together, planning and executing. So one, you both are strong influences on me. Secondly, podcasts like My First Million, where I might not have necessarily met these people, but I listen to them so much that I feel like I know who they are, I know a lot about them and their guests, and without them realizing it, they're doing wonders when it comes to mentoring others in the sphere of entrepreneurship and what it means to be a business professional. So, adopting some of what they're done and what they're doing. So, uh, mentorship really is all around. And so, just as much as I take time to mentor, at the same time, I'm just as much a mentee. So, this goes out to being mentees of you guys because I learn every time that we interact.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Bartholomew, right? Like, I think, like, obviously, I mentioned you guys being my mentors in real estate, right? But to be honest, like, in terms of like personal career wise, like, I don't think I had necessarily one mentor, right? I feel like there is so many people that I look up to, right? That I aspire to be. And so, I think like leading from example is also another way to be, someone's mentor, right? And so, I think like throughout my entire career, right, there's people that I look up to and whether or not it is how they kind of progress professionally, whether or not they made a career change that I also wanted to do, right? And so like there's so many different ways to kind of look at and kind of see that mentorship. Um, I think like podcasts are also big with me, right? Or even listening to audiobooks has been something that I have started doing in 2023, right? And so, I think like, I don't know, some of my favorite podcasts, right, is just like the Mad Happy podcast, right? Or something like really being able to kind of go and just like have a different perspective on life, right? And find ways to kind of be grateful for a variety of things. And so, I think like besides like having like that professional like that mentorship, right? I think there's also like mentorships in life, right? And like how do you go and kind of, have a really terrible situation but have that positive out, that perspective, right? And I think that's been one of the biggest things that I've learned this year is to kind of how do I kind of shift the way that I react to certain things, right? And like how do I go and improve that perspective? And overall just like having that more positive outlook. And so that's one podcast that I really like. There is On Purpose, that I also really like. And so, just having kind of different perspectives on a lot of different topics, right? I don't know whether or not I like a lot of like these psychology podcasts, right? I think like a lot of what I struggled with like in my, my 20s, right? It's just like how do I kind of go and, think about things in different perspectives, right? And so, I think like I am always like uh the school of life, right? We're always learning something, right? And so like I like having podcasts to kind of go and like share different things I wouldn't, have picked up at a library book, right? And like having podcasts and like having like those guest speakers have been really pretty fun, right? In ways. So I don't know, just kind of alternatives, right, to kind of ways to kind of look at life and like that type of mentorship. Um,
Very well said for Bartholomew and Katie. I think it just kind of goes to show that, mentorship doesn't necessarily have to be just a specific person that, you talk to on a daily basis. Both of you guys mentioned podcasts, the importance of that and like, how it basically you guys incorporate it into your daily lives, right?